you going to show me?
I've got him on a couple on my cell phone, and he has to send me a couple that he's finished.
Okay, that's good.
He is studying with a guy in Denver who's from Iran, and he teaches in the style of the old masters. And my grandson has a bachelor's degree in art that focused more on commercial
But that doesn't change who you are.
no, but he's always wanted to do more classical work. And so he started out all over again with this guy from scratch, as if he'd
Wow.
never taken any classes. And Bobby Bledman, he has a not-for-profit art school in Denver, and he's the only teacher, but he has already gotten approval from the board of directors when my grandson finishes in another 4 or 5 months. They're going to hire him as an instructor.
All right.
And he has 3 galleries in Denver that want to take a look at James's oils. And they're going to go for competition on which one fits them. So right now he's working on doing more oil so that
Wow.
so he has enough to.
Every once in a while I do an oil to show. I do one at Moses last year, where he's coming down from the mountain the second time, and it's before he's going back to the camp, and he's just sort of standing there, not posing, but he's like thinking, like, hey, now what's going to happen to this? It's sort of just like he's sort of catching your breath. He's holding, but it's like I say, it's more about the whole thing. I love it. He does look a little like Santa Claus,
Does he?
because his hair supposedly turned white. Oh, you're going to touch him. Hey, I don't know what I was thinking when he asked me to do stuff. I was thinking, I had to do all the shots today because I got in a chill. I can't do night. I bought 3. I bought shoes. My biggest priority. I can't just afford to be sick. Sure, I'm here that Sunday. I'm here the next Sunday. I'm here Friday. I have 2 big concerts that week as well, and I teach 2. I looked at what the temperature is at night. Well, by then it is. In fact, sunset's 5:20 something at that time.
5 o'clock.
5:20. Oh. At the 20 that week of the 21st or whatever. 28th.
28th. Okay.
So please,
That's okay. I told him
turned
I
down
didn't.
everybody.
I told him I didn't think that you could.
And all I want to ask Andre is, when does he want those songs she's got to put them together? I have Veterans Day ready. I talked to Molly at the store, choir director, was very disappointed she only wanted 1 song. Talked her into 1 and a cutesy little.
Is this for the interfaith?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to Dana to make sure that they have you doing something this year.
1. I did 2. I think I did 2. It's all I'm doing is coming.
You didn't write anything when we did it the year before last.
Yes, I did.
You did?
I sure did.
Well, you said you were disappointed because you didn't do anything.
No, that was last year. We didn't have anybody.
It was the only year we did it.
I did
It's
something.
about 30 seconds away, so we talk about it.
Anyway,
Okay.
she said the Presbyterian guys are only doing 1, but I'm sure the choir's doing several. Fine, I'll do the 1 plus I did a parody I wrote to Over the River through this. Over New River, past 101,
That's good.
to Grand Avenue we go.
That's good.
It's real good. It just ends with, I'm so grateful to be here. And it's just, she loved it. It's just a short edition.
Testing 1 2 3 testing.
Look, it's like 30 seconds.
So that's the only one you get.
No, I'm doing coming thing. People come because they're doing together,
Okay.
and we're all in the DP song.
Okay.
Testing 1 2 3
Nice.
testing.
Those 2 things put together, and I don't know what we're doing for Hanukkah on the opening of it.
I'm not sure what we're doing here either.
But that's what I'm at here.
Yeah.
I need to know. I just want to know I'm not leading songs outside. That's all.
Well, but we will be outside.
Testing 1 2 3
Wait,
testing.
For first night.
You mean after the awards ceremony? I don't
No,
do.
for first night.
Yeah, well, first night. They're going to have the awards first, right?
No, awards ceremony is the last night.
Testing 1 2 3 testing.
Well, first night, but it's not really night. Can we do it earlier?
I have no idea what.
I have to let them know. I just don't know.
Well,
Now, summer,
yeah.
Marvin had me singing and it got dark.
Well, I don't think it's going to be at 7 o'clock. My hunch is it's going to start around 4:30 to 5.
All right, well,
I don't know.
when you get any input,
Okay,
just
well,
tell
I
us
think
sooner the better.
maybe it's meeting next
surgery is Wednesday, so
You're having surgery?
yeah. So I can see out of my right eye. I can't see anything out of my right eye. Yeah. I gotta have two of them.
Yeah.
I only thought it was the right eye because I can't see out of it. I literally can't see out of the right eye. I cover this eye, I see better than
But you will be
with
able
both.
to have surgery.
What?
You will be able to have vision that eye with
For
surgery.
the other eye. For the other eye.
Okay.
I don't have vision in the right eye now, so I mean,
Okay. You want to go against the Giants? Which may.
Hi, Rochelle.
I gotta tell you something funny. Yeah, make sure that's on.
You never can.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Roz. I got the new yard site list, so I'm all set. Well, for the one tonight at least. Yeah, I'll check with you next week. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you. So we did a team thing, for the golf outing. We do sponsor a team thing. And I said, Justin, what should we put on?
Are you guys gonna play?
We're not gonna play.
Why? The same money you can play? But I think they set it up that if you hit the ball in the wrong direction, you start from where the best person hit their ball, so nobody's gonna know.
I know. It's
You don't want to play.
But
I try to convince her and Justin to play in the golf thing, but they don't want to.
well,
Are you playing in it?
Yeah.
You're a golfer, sort of.
well, my son did
Not
golfing.
Tiger Woods, but
My son and my daughter both did golfing.
oh,
But I asked him what name did you want to carve with a T or whatever, and he looks at me and he goes, Jesus of Nazareth. And I said no. Sounds great.
you'll tell me where this sign is, what hole number, and
I said no.
are you ready? Okay. So Dave asked me just to let him know. You arranged the oneg. We got an oneg apparently.
Well, I don't know what, no, B decided to put stuff in the freezer for next week.
Oh, so she's not
There
gonna.
was only one plate and it wasn't wrapped.
Oh, all right. All right. I guess I have to. Okay. Okay, we're ready.
What's Rochelle's husband's name?
Justin.
Yeah, should I introduce him?
Sure.
Okay. We have some other visitors.
Right. Good. Yeah, sorry about the pineapple Perrier.
Shabbat Shalom. Can we get everybody to take their seats? Hello, everybody. Can we get you to sit down? Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to Temple Beth Shalom, to our visitors in the sanctuary and our visitors who may be live streaming. And welcome back to our members at home who we missed last week on live streaming with much apology, but there were some technical difficulties that we weren't able to get resolved by 7 o'clock. But hopefully all is going well live tonight. My name is Faye Henning Bryant. I have the honor of being president of the congregation. And you get to see me once a month. The other weeks of the month, we have other board members here for you to meet so that you can meet them as well. We have some visitors here tonight. Rhonda and Norman Krinsky. Can you stay? You want to stand? They have been here more than... They've been here more than once, and we're working real hard to let them know how much we would like to have them join us. Steve Gurney. Where is Steve? There's Steve. Steve, welcome. Steve, where are you from? California? Do you live here now, or are you just... Okay. And Krinsky's... Rhonda and Norman, where in the area do you folks live? Mm-hmm. In Sun City, okay. And oh, okay. And Jeffrey Collins and Laura Collins. Welcome. Rochelle and Justin, are they friends of yours?
They're biological.
Oh, great.
This is my son.
Oh.
This is his wife.
Well, welcome. And Rochelle's husband, Justin, is here again tonight, and we welcome Justin. We didn't get a chance really to introduce him last week, so good to see you back. I think that's it. And Rabbi?
Shabbat Shalom, Faye. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Faye didn't want to tell you, but it was last week we were attacked by Russian hackers. And they were trying to infiltrate our computer systems, but a combination of Dave Katz and Steve Bold and several of our other high-tech wizards was able to fend them off, and so our data is safe. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. I guess we're ready to get right into Shabbat with the Shalom Aleichem, page 142. You can rise, you can dance, you can hold hands, you can do whatever you like to greet Shabbat, page 142.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ha'em Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Oni L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'etem Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch.
Shabbat Shalom. So how many people, it's their first time back here who've been here many times but haven't been here for a while? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many people, it's their first time here at all? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, so for the Shabbat lighting candle, I'd like to invite everyone who's a woman and who would like to light the candles. Please come forward. Actually, the candles are lit, so you're just blessing the candles. So, 1, 2, 3.
4.
The first 20, and then enrollment stops.
And we'll sell them tickets. Thank you, darling.
You can bring a prayer book if you like. It's on page 120 for the blessing. Rochelle does not want to hold the microphone.
Things fall a lot out of my mouth.
Oh, I know. Okay, go ahead. Baruch Shemabu, Baruch Shemabu, Baruch Shemabu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of the Shabbat.
Well done.
All
Thank
women
you.
return back to your seats.
We're continuing with the Kabbalat Shabbat service on page 138, Lecha Dodi. We're greeting the Shabbat bride. Last week, our substitute guard had a Jeep with zombies on it, and so we think that scared away the Sabbath Queen. So not only don't we have zombies, but we've repaved the entire parking lot to make it more accessible for Shabbat Queen. So because she may not have a car, it may be more like a buggy. So we're hoping and praying that she arrives this week. Page 138, Lecha Dodi. Dodi lekrat kala, Shabbat lekrat kala, Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Dodi. Kabela, awi b'shalom atebara, simcha u'b'tzahala, v'neyam segula, o'i kala, lecha dodi lekrat kala. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat. Can everyone hear me okay? And so I want to, that we have zuchut. Zuchut in Hebrew means a privilege or an honor to be here the very first day that the new parking lot is being inducted. I asked Helene if we have budget to buy some French champagne to smash on it, and she said there's no budget. She said you can buy the $4 champagne in Costco. But I didn't think that would be dignified for the new parking lot, which we hope will be with us for many years to come, or at least 3.5 years. So, well, what can you do? We can do a shehechiyanu, so we should what? Okay. So do we go outside and come back in? No, there's too many people here with artificial needs. How many people have had their knees replaced in the last 6 months? Oh. How long ago was your knee replaced?
Both knees, 5 years.
5 years, all right. So she's a veteran, that doesn't count. But we have considerable number of people who've had their knees replaced in the last few months. So in consideration of that, and how's your knee doing? All right, and yours is doing pretty. Is it the same surgeon? No, competing surgeons, and they're both giving ads for the golf tournament. Okay, Glenn Zelkind is going to call both of these doctors and say, okay. We're in the middle of a course on Pirkei Avot, on the ethics of the sages, and so I thought it would be an appropriate point just to give you a little bit of perspective about Judaism and how it all fits together, just a little bit. So, I mean, for most people, Judaism is coming Friday night and coming to services and seeing friends and singing Lecha Dodi and Shabbat, and that's Judaism. But from a book point of view, from a historical point of view, we all know that the main book is right here, and that is the Torah. Right, there you go. Yep, very good. It was one of the two of you. And that this Torah is connected to a broader collection of books, which is called the Bible, right? The Hebrew Bible, in Hebrew the Tanakh. So the Hebrew Bible. And the Hebrew Bible is 24 books, depending on how you count. And this is only, how many books? 5, okay. And now the 24 books because, for example, the 12 minor prophets, which includes Jonah as one of them, counts as one book. If you count them as 12 books, then, and there's a few others, there's Samuel 1 and 2, and Kings 1 and 2, and Chronicles 1 and 2, you can get the number up to 36, or all sorts of different numbers. But, say again? 2 times high. All right, good. But this is also not all of Judaism. So this is starting to sound like the song that we sing on Passover, right? It would have been enough. What's the Aramaic for the Dayenu? Thank you, B. It would have been enough if that. And Joyce is thinking, I can't even read these 36 books. You're going to tell me about more. I said, forget it. But the other books are quite important, and that is especially the Talmud. So the Talmud and the Bible kind of go hand in hand. And if you're like an outsider and you're just looking at the Hebrew Bible and you're saying, oh, this is Judaism and then my religion is whatever it is, then you're only getting maybe 10% of Judaism. So we're doing the Ethics of the Sages, which this book calls it Sage Advice. Get it? It's kind of, and this is Rabbi Yitz Greenberg. And this is just one of the many tractates in the Talmud. And so, but it's one that we study a lot because it's more ethical sayings. And the most famous of these ethical sayings is Hillel said, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? And if I am only for myself, then who will be for you? No. What am I? What am I?
What am I?
Right, like I'm just a selfish person just shopping at Costco all the time. Well, that Hillel didn't say that, but and if not now, then
when?
All right. So, and I said to Glenn, this is perfect for the golf outing, right? Right. So, if you're not going to golf now, when are you going to golf? You move to a golf community and you pick up a club, and if you hit the ball the wrong way, at least you tried.
You meet other people.
Like when I did a surfing lesson in Jamaica, and at the end of the lesson, the instructor looked at me, and I expected him to say, you're going to need more lessons. And he did, and he said, at least you tried. Seriously. But this is 6 chapters, and it's filled with these sorts of sayings. And it's very atypical for Talmudic discourse, because Talmudic discourse, which is as extended to Jewish discourse. So they say that Jews make good lawyers because in law school you have to argue back and forth. If this evidence is accepted, then what happens? If the evidence is excluded, then what happens? And so forth. And the Talmud is much of the Talmud is exactly the same way. So if I grab onto Steve's talit and I say this talit is mine, and Steve says,
no, it's mine.
There you go. So obviously he's wrong. But if you have to judge it, what might be one consideration that you might point out? He's wearing it. That, say again?
He's wearing
He's wearing it, and the rabbi's just grabbing it over the seat. That makes it look my case looks rather weak. So B would be Rabbi A and say, well, whose talit is it really? Well, it's Steve's because he's wearing it. And the other guy is just reaching over and grabbing a corner. So the guy who's got it on his shoulders is the natural. And then the other rabbi would say, no, it shouldn't be based on who has more possession. It should be based on whose name is written in the inside collar, right? Because before it was dry cleaned, then Rabbi Kaplan wrote his name in it. So Steve may be wearing it, but Rabbi Kaplan has his name in it. And then Rabbi A would say no, and it would go on and on like that. And Pirkei Avot doesn't do that. You could see that the Hillel statement doesn't blend itself to this sort of back and forth in quite the same way. But yet it includes a lot of knowledge, and it's a completely different approach than what we find in the Bible itself. And so it's a different way of looking at God and at Torah and at life, right? Because ultimately, we have a religion that's not just here for us to affirm a particularist identity, but also to learn how to live life. We have all sorts of challenges, problems, crises, tragedies, right? So things happen, and you're young, so you hopefully have had idyllic life so far and no setbacks, but things get worse, right? So one of the purposes of our religion is to try to figure out, to have a philosophy that can help us to cope and to cope well. And it's going to be individual. It's going to be different for each of us. And yet, so this sort of thing, and you don't have to take the course. It's too late. We're halfway through. But you can get a copy of Pirkei Avot. There's 25 translations and 45 English commentaries. And it's the sort of thing you really can read without any sort of expert advice with you. And with that, hopefully, you have a portable Torah, something that you can take to work or on the train or the bus or whatever the equivalent is in Arizona. And it can help little by little, Mishnah by Mishnah, and each Mishnah is just like 2 or 3 sentences long, to learn about life and to figure out how we can best respond to the challenges that we're going to inevitably face. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for the beginning of the evening service, beginning on page 146 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Am-Borach, Baruch Adonai Am-Borach, Am-Borach Le'olam Va'ed, Am-Borach, Am-Borach Le'olam Va'ed.
We join together on page 147 at the bottom in a reading that I think is trying to emphasize the contrasts in our search for religiosity for God. We join together. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal. We remain standing for the declaration of faith on page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malachuto Le'olam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
We join together in the English. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשבתך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. We're not Hillel, are we?
We're working toward it. It's aspirational.
Okay.
We'll become Hillel soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay. You can't just wait. You have to help
I have
me.
to do something. Okay.
Yeah. We have to build the ark. We have to make progress. We have to, you know, be assertive, be active.
Oh boy, this Jewish thing's really tough.
You were on vacation. You had time to relax.
Yeah.
But you went to synagogue.
I did.
Wow. Wow. See, he's really dedicated. That's why I didn't fall off my bike, maybe. Oh my. Page 156. We join together at the bottom of the page. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels without count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude and accepted your sovereignty. Lifting their voice joyfully. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam, ya la 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 la, ya la la bim bam, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam. Mi kamocha barim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilo o sefer, nora tehilo o sefer. Malekutecha marivadecha, bokei ayom lefnei Moshe uMiriam, zeli anu va'amru Adonai imlo le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 bim bam. B'nei Amar tifadav Adonai et Yaakov, uglo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Sometimes I have us read the creative reading on page 159, but tonight let's read the translation of what the Cantor just sang, Mi Chamocha, at the bottom of page 158. This is one of the oldest sections of the Hebrew Bible. We join together. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is your God, their cry. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from hands longer than his own. Praise are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Atah Adonai, Go'al Yisrael. Uthros aleinu sukat, sukat, shelomecha. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Please rise for the tefillah, beginning on page 164. Adonai, sivitai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Be'imotenu,
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, B'konei HaKol, B'zocher Chasdei Avo V'imahot, U'mebigi'la lebnei bneihem, L'man Shemo Ba'hava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Rab le'Hoshia. Mechakeh Chaim b'chesed, Mechayeh HaKol b'ragamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, U'mater aserim, U'mekayem emunato l'shenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al geburot, U'mida melach, Melech memi, U'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'aman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
We continue praying silently, standing or seated.
Say shalom, bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'emaru amen. Say shalom, bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, V'akol Yisrael v'imru amen.
We turn to the Mishaberach on page 371, and I'm going to go around, and if you'd like to say the names of friends or loved ones or acquaintances that are in need of healing, please say their names.
Rini.
Ron Salomon.
Renee Zalkind and Barbara Moss.
Lindsay Kenner and Sydney Kenner.
Lindsay Nichols.
Laura Grossman.
Everybody's okay? More or less.
Julie Hostler.
My mother, Sheila Schweitzer, still thank you.
Robin Jacobson.
Lou Lowry and Robin Jacobson.
Robin Jacobson and Lou Lowy.
Same here.
Okay, my friend Bill Popescu, who's finally coming back to Phoenix on the 20th of November.
Carol Cash.
My daughter Sheila.
I'm praying for all of life who is struggling to survive during these horrible times.
Myself, as well as Rebecca Ginsburg and Jamie Ginsburg.
Dave Katz.
Who's there? But he's got a cane, but he's recovering.
My neighbor Mary Lou.
And are you on this list as well? Not necessary? We'll put you on anyway.
My sister-in-law, Judy Fogel.
My brother Bert Benkover, myself, Barbara Moss, and my wife Fern Benkover.
And how are you doing?
Sue Madison, Pinky Teitelbaum.
Derwin Sands, my brother.
My granddaughter Dory Krinsky and my friend Don Jacobson.
Joyce and myself.
Nancy Erbach.
Nancy Erbach, Barbara Moss, Marvin and Jane Barris, and my son Jeffrey Goldstein.
My son Scott Justison and my friend Abraham Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
My friend Lana Triplett, whose 14-year-old son was killed night before last.
Oh. Oh, my God.
He was hit by a car.
Mishabera imotenu mekor avraka imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor avraka la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Parshat Toldot tonight is the name of the parsha, and we don't distribute the reading for the portion, but if anyone wants to, you could get your own Tanakh and bring it, or photograph 1 or 2 pages. But it is still from the book of Genesis, and it talks about Rebekah, who has twins, and their names are Esav and Jacob, and they're going to be battling over who is going to take the birthright. And this birthright is of very important historical importance, because it represents who's going to be following up on the covenant that Abraham and Sarah made with God. And so Esav, being the firstborn, is the natural heir, and as we're going to see, that's not what's going to happen. And I'd ask the Zelkines to come up for this aliyah to celebrate a couple of things. Now, there's some dispute among the commentators in the Talmud over how long that you've actually been married, and this could be quite important, I guess, right? So, is it 8 years? Is it 14 years? Is it 16 years? Or is it
6 years, 22, we're not
18.
Hi.
Is it 18?
Yes.
For Chai. Wow, so Mazel Tov. And how does it feel to be married for 18 years?
Good.
Ah, okay, good.
Good answer.
Now it's also, is your birthday coming around now?
It is.
And are you now old enough to drink?
What's the drinking age in Arizona?
What's the drinking age in Arizona? 21.
Yes, I just made it.
Okay, just made it. So Mazel Tov on that as well. And I can recommend carrot cake is really the best birthday cake. Truly, really. Okay, Ya'amdu, Glenn, Vibabi, La'aliyah L'Torah, Ve'ya'amdu.
Baruch hu et Adonai habarach.
Baruch Adonai habarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai habarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
So as you know, they named the Parsha, here you can hold that side, they named the Parsha after the first unusual word that appears in the beginning of the Parsha, and here it is, Ve'ele Toldot. And these are the history, or this is the history. So Toldot is not exactly a standard word for history. In modern Hebrew, the word, anybody know for history in Hebrew today, is historia, and so, which is based on the English. But in biblical Hebrew, it was Toldot. So we skip the Elah and we call the Parsha Toldot. Ve'ela Toldot Yitzchak ben Avraham. And these is the history. Perhaps it might be translated almost as family history or even genealogy of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Avraham olid et Yitzchak. Vayihi Yitzchak ben 40 shana bekachto et Rivka bat Betuel ha'arami piptan Aram. And Abraham gave or had a son, Isaac. He didn't give birth to the son. Sarah is not mentioned at that point. My apologies. Then Isaac grows up, and he was 40 years old when he took a wife, Rebecca, who was the daughter of Betuel, the Aramean. And you know, in Passover, at the Passover Seder, there's a very famous declaration, my father was a wandering Aramean, or at least that's one of the translations. So if they say, what are you? And you say, I'm Jewish. And if they don't like that answer, you could say, I'm an Aramean, or a wandering Aramean, at least according to this. And you're not just an Aramean, you're from Padan Aram, which is, what'd you say? From Padan Aram, which is a city somewhere, I believe, in the northernish part of Iraq today. Achot Lavan, the sister of Lavan. Lavan in English means white, so it's like Mr. White. I think there was a board game Clue where Mr. White was one of the suspects, and Lavan was the brother. Ha'arami, and there's again, Lavan is an Aramean. Lo le'ishto vayakar Yitzchak, la'adonai lenochesh ishto ki akarahi. And then she says, I'm barren, I can't have children. Vayakar lo Adonai v'tahar Rivka ishto. And then Isaac prays to God, and lo and behold, who gets pregnant? Okay, and this, as you notice, is repeating. Sarah had the same fertility problems, or at least in those days they blamed the women for the fertility problems. It's possible that Isaac had the problem and they didn't know. But in any case, whatever it was, they solved it, and Rivka becomes pregnant. V'yitrotzutzua banim bekirva v'tomar im Kain, lama zanochi, v'telech lidrosh et Adonai vayomer Adonai la shnei goyin bebitna. So then Rivka says, I'm having stomach pains. My stomach is hurting. I don't know why. And so she goes not to her gynecologist but to God. And God says, it's because you're going to have twins. And but he doesn't say it quite like that. He doesn't say you're going to have twins. He says, 2 nations are in your belly. Vishnei lu'umim, and 2 nationalities. Mimancha yifrudu. V'lo'om mila'am ya'amatz v'rav ya'avod sa'ir. And that it's possible that the younger one will emerge as the bearer or the receiver of the covenant.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tzolchenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. And on this occasion of your Aliyah, I want to give you a blessing for all of the good things in life. May you have many, many more happy years together of health and joy and activities and traveling. And may you not be frozen by the winters in Denver, Colorado, or anywhere in Colorado, which I've heard are just and may you always come back to sunny, warm Arizona quickly and with smiles on your face. And let us say, Amen. We turn now to the Mourner's Kaddish as we remember first of all of the names of the founders of our temple whose lights are lit, as well as Paul Berman, who's remembered by his brother Stephen Berman, William Fader, the father of Maxine Datesman, Gabor Fuchs, the grandfather of Aaron Juarez, Jacob Gerber, the father-in-law of Suzanne Gerber, Edwina J. Coe, the cousin of Bob Coe, Robert Kramer, the husband of Arlette. Kramer, where's Arlette? There's Arlette. May I wish you long life, and may the memory of your husband always be for a blessing, Arlette. Frida Lara, the mother of Carmen Berkowitz, and similarly to you, Carmen, may your mother's memory always be for a blessing. Rose Levinson, the mother of Joni Frankel, Anna Listowski, the aunt of Abraham Cohen, Martin Mirovowitz, the father of Alan Mirovowitz, Herman E. Moskowitz was my uncle who taught me to ride a bike and tried to teach me to play tennis. Tessie Rudman Rosen, the mother of Jerry Rosen, Morris Schatz, the father-in-law of Yolanda Schatz, Alfred Sheffield, the father of Joan Sheffield, and Rose Willens, the grandmother of Randy Rosen. Is there anyone else who'd like to add a name of either someone close to you who passed away either in the past year or around this time in years past? Just raise your hand. Bob Gurney, for those who didn't know him or couldn't hear, was our longtime treasurer and a wonderful guy who passed away around 1 year ago. February. So, of course, and to his dear widow, Alice, who's just a wonderful lady that many of us know, and to her son who came in from Northern California, may Bob's memory always be for a blessing. And let us say amen. Please rise as we join together in the Mourner's Kaddish for all of our loved ones. We join together Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, v'alma dibra karute, v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon u'b'yomechon, u'b'chaye dekol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'b'zman kariv v'yamru, Yeshmei Rabbah mivorach li'olam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalal v'yitalal shmei d'kutsha brichu, leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tush berchata v'nechamata, damiram bi'alma v'yamru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru. Amen. Oseh shalom ben Ramav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all humanity, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. We turn now to the Cantor's Anthem. Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful time on the day, truly blessed. And so I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Each week I long for the seventh day to start. Its beauty brings such quelling to my heart. I just smile through the day, so eager to say, Shabbat Shalom. May you find joy and rest, a peaceful time on the day truly blessed. Shabbat Shalom. May every hour be sweet, both with your own and with people you meet. All through the week, just waiting to welcome the day of celebrating Shabbat Shalom. Soon comes the candles glow, then blessing the wine and the challah that's shared. Shabbat Shalom. May all our prayers be heard for peace at home. Shabbat Shalom. All through the week, just waiting to welcome the day of celebrating Shabbat Shalom. Soon comes the candles glow, then blessing the wine and the challah that's shared. Shabbat Shalom. May all our prayers be heard for peace and home. Shabbat Thank you. I'll give an ad to the gift for the gift shoppy. That's from my CD, Baruch. No, Shalom to you, not Baruch to you. And you know, the one with the painting, like with the peace dove.
And you composed that?
I did. In
Very
2000.
Nice. Very nice.
When I was 20, yeah.
You were younger than Glenn is now.
Right. I knew Glenn in kindergarten, yeah.
We have some announcements. First, I'll start with Shari Young representing the Sisterhood. Then I'll move to Lee Shedroff representing the Arizona Jewish Historical Society. And then Faye Henning-Bryan representing the temple as a whole. Shari?
Can you hear me? And I hope everybody
in space in the bit buckets can hear me too. So Sisterhood, which is, we've been on hiatus, as many of you noticed. We opened the gift shop 3 weeks ago. It's fully stocked with Hanukkah gifts. First candle is the 28th of this month. Today's the 5th. So feel free to come in and get your supplies. So we are sponsoring, since traditionally there's been a Hanukkah dinner here. We can't have a dinner right now. We're sponsoring a box Chompy's dinner. The food will come from Chompy's, most of it. And it'll be available on Tuesday, November 30th. And you can come between noon and 2:30 to the temple to pick it up. But we need your reservations by the 22nd. You know, normally when we have dinners, we take reservations up to the minute, but Chompy's is harder on us than that. So please call. The dinner is $20 each. You have your choice. There's beef brisket, apricot glazed chicken, or for vegetarians, acacia stuffed pepper. It'll include a couple of latkes, some green beans, the Chompy's challah roll, sugar cookies, plus Judy Fagan, who runs the gift shop and makes the Simcha cakes, from anybody who remembers our Onyx, and soon to be in January, we'll be having Sisterhood-sponsored Onyx again. She'll be making a cookie. And we're going to have some dreidels with the instructions, because who remembers? So just one other thing, and I didn't write the date down. The third Monday of the month is typically Sisterhood meetings, but we will not resume meetings, regular meetings, until probably past January. The board really feels like we need everybody to have their boosters besides their vaccinations. So, but I believe we'll have a meeting. I think it might be the 15th, but I'm not sure what the date is, in December. For anybody that wants to come, bring your lunch. It'll be in December so far. Just to talk about what's up to Sisterhood, what can be happening going forward, because I just couldn't do Zoom meetings anymore.
Okay. Thank you, Shari. And then, Glenn, do you also want to talk?
I'll be very brief. I'm Vice President of the Arizona Jewish Historical Society, and our building at 122 West Cutler is 100 years old last month. It was built in 1921 and was the congregation Beth Israel for 30 years. Then it was for 30 years, or just short of 30 years, a Chinese Baptist church. And then it was a Hispanic Baptist church for 20 years. And the last approximately 20 years, it's been owned by the Arizona Jewish Historical Society. That's the whole 100 years. But this Sunday, from noon to 4 o'clock, we're having an open festival, which all three congregations are going to be involved with. Music, food, everything. It's free, and we'd like to see a lot of the community out. There'll be dignitaries there. Well, I don't like them talking anyway, like the congressmen and all that, but they're going to be there. And it's, if you don't know where it's at, it's yes. What? Yeah, it's 122 East Culver, which happens to be, if anybody knows where the main Phoenix Library is, it's virtually on the same campus as the library. So it's around McDowell Central, and it's and the way you get there, it's very easy. From here, it happens to be a 25-minute drive. So if anybody wants to see me afterwards, give me your email address. I'll send you a link. And we'd like to see you there from noon to 4 o'clock on Sunday. There'll be music from all three congregations and food and everything.
Thank you, Lee. And our unscheduled speaker.
Unscheduled speaker. I guess the question is, when am I going to stop talking about this? Well, as Tevye told me, the good book says he will stop talking about this when the golf outing is filled up. I don't play golf. What can I do? What can you do? Talk to anybody you know who might be able to play golf. Friends, neighbors, anybody. We are taking all comers. What's the other thing you can do? Well, we are having tea sponsors. A tea sponsor donates a certain amount of money to sponsor a tea at the golf outing, and they get their name on a great big golf ball at the outing, and their name is in the awards booklet. Brotherhood, last week, when they got a free breakfast, decided they would kick their year off by donating $500 to this tea sponsorship program. So we are accepting all kinds of donations for that, and anybody that wishes to play.
Now there's a reception at the synagogue, which is on the 8th night of Hanukkah after the golfing.
That's correct.
So if you give $500 for the tea, do you have to pay another $18 for the reception?
No, you don't. You get the reception for free. And a raffle ticket and a drink ticket.
Now what if you don't play golf? Like Justin is in pretty good shape, but you never played golf in your life. Can I convince him just to I mean, is it going to embarrass him?
No, it's not going to embarrass him. There's a lot of people out who are going to be there who are not real golfers.
And isn't it true that if he hits the ball in the wrong direction, the second ball, you start where the best golfer hit the ball?
That's correct.
All right.
So whatever mistake he may make is going to be covered by the other three, unless they all make the same mistake. And then you have a situation where you meet other people because you're over on the wrong fairway. And
there's no alligators on the golf course.
No, as a matter of fact, I was there last week and we swept for alligators and didn't find a single one. So I'm assuming on December 5th there's not going to be any alligators either.
Glenn, you forgot something very important.
I don't doubt it.
Well, there's something else that you can do to get involved. You can join the silent auction and bid for a 45-minute ride with the rabbi in the golf cart.
But Faye, I've never driven a golf cart in my life.
Well, we're going to teach you before December 5th. Golf is going to take about 4 hours, so there'll be an opportunity for 4 members of the congregation to have a 45-minute ride. So the bidding is open. It's a silent auction. You can call Helene and find out what the highest bid is. The last I knew, it was opened at $50. There's an opening bid. And I think it's increments of $5 or $10. So some of you non-golfers who are looking for a way to support us and spend some money, go for it. And the last thing is we need people to make hors d'oeuvres. And you can call Gloria Bold for that. I think that's it, isn't it, Glenn? Oh, Sarah Jane? Yeah. The only other announcement is next Friday we will be recognizing Veterans Day, our members who are veterans, and we will also recognize any of our members who are currently in the military and the deceased veterans of the surviving spouses and children here in the congregation. And the Cantor is putting together a special program. So please come and join us next Friday night and bring your friends. It's going to be a nice evening. And I think that's it. Rabbi?
Okay. Kiddush and Hamotzi.
Yes. Who knows what it is? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, orech Torah gaven. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קדישנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון נבילנו,
זיכרון למעשה בראשית, הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקודש השבת.
Amen. Now, last week, Stephen Gloria Bold put underneath there, instead of the challah, carrots. And so B suggested that maybe the same thing happened this week, so it's not. Thank goodness.
Couldn't we make carrot challah?
Yeah, well, that's up to B. Are you ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Yes. Next week. Next week, maybe we can do the Hamotzi. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks.
Maybe Thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We don't have an oneg this week, to our great sorrow.
Don't tell me the Russians got that too.
The Russians are getting everything.
They hacked our oneg.
They hacked our oneg. But B. Eisenberg already brought some stuff for next week, so we're going to be well stocked. So we're looking forward to it. We conclude our service with the benediction, and then finally, Tefillat HaDerech, and please rise.
Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Ken yehi ratzon. May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace, have health, be happy, and most of all, find love. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. By the wings of peace, may we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be a blessing. Amen. 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 May this be a blessing. Amen. 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 May this be a blessing. Amen.